Hi, welcome to my guitar tutorial. I'm calling this 8-note chromatic patterns for guitar improvisation. So this is something I've been thinking about over the past week or so. So I think what I'll start off with today is I'll just play through the basic patterns that I came up with here. So this was just an idea. I wanted to create some chromaticism within my playing. So then I'll talk about this, and I'll talk about how you can apply this to 2-5-1 progression. So the very first one, this is starting with the first finger. So these patterns are all available as a download, a PDF. You can download them from my Dropbox. So the first one starts and ends with the first finger. So I'm kind of thinking of this as kind of coming around sort of the A minor blues box. And then you can also think of it as part of a D minor scale, a pentatonic scale also, but I'll get to that later. Okay, so the next pattern starts with the third finger. So you're just kind of outlining these notes from the pentatonic, but I'm throwing in chromatic notes, and I also wanted to make something that was rhythmically even. So this could be either quarter notes, or it could also be eighth notes with alternate picking, as I've described in the PDF here. Yeah, so I was suggesting for speed to do strict alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down. I'll do the first one like that. So slow and steady wins the race. So you'll eventually get that just by practicing it. Okay, so the next one, starting with the first finger. So I'm kind of coming around kind of that C and G, so you can kind of think of that as like sort of the guide tones of an A minor 7th chord. And then also the 8th notes. Okay, then one starting with the third finger. So that's kind of coming around almost like maybe like a 5 chord. And then also down a picking. All right, so I think for the first example, I'm going to go ahead and treat this like, I guess like a D minor pentatonic. Okay, so if you thought of D minor pentatonic is also F major pentatonic, F, G, A, C, D. Okay, let's put on a backing track, and I'll maybe talk about some concepts that you can play around with. Okay, so this is the iReal Pro. So it's going to be G minor 7 to a C7 to an F major 7. So in the creative process, it's just like anything, if you're doing modeling clay or doing painting or everything, you just have to try different things. So I'll just show you a process of taking my raw ideas and then playing around with them, and then just coming up with some different improvising ideas. So what I'll do for the first time through, I'll just play just that phrase as eighth notes over the whole progression. I'll play it a couple times, and then I'll gradually manipulate the notes, sometimes adding notes at the end, and then sometimes changing the rhythmic structure of those 8 notes. Again. Works pretty well. Now change it rhythmically. I'll add some notes at the end of the phrase. I'll do it one more time. It's kind of a slick phrase. Okay, so as I was working with these phrases, I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting way to using it. So you have three either hammer pull-offs, and then you have this five note grouping. So that would just take some practice. You try singing it or whatever and do with this. All right, so next one, starting with the third finger. So I'm doing this hammer pull-off idea. So I'll play that phrase over this 2-5-1, G minor 7, C7, F major 7. 1, 2, just eighth notes. I'll do one more time like that. I'll manipulate the rhythms. I'll add some notes at the end. Okay, so you can just see, just from the little bit I've been doing here, that you just have to use your imagination and just try some different things. Okay, so now I'll go to the next one. Starting with the first finger. Okay, so same idea. So what I'm encouraging you to do is, find yourself a good backing track and just kind of play with these ideas. Certainly this would not just be limited to jazz. As I was preparing this for this video, I was trying some different things, some sort of fusion-y things, some Latin things, and I just thought, well, it just seemed like for the swing, it worked pretty well. So same idea, I'll start off with just an eighth note idea, and then I'll gradually mess with the rhythms, and then I'll also maybe add some different notes at the end here. One, 2, 3, 4. Works pretty well there. I'm just going to scat just a little bit here. So, rhythmically. I'll add some notes at the end. Okay, next example. Yeah, so you saw what I was doing there. I was just kind of taking the basic elements and I was doing something with them. And that's what you just have to do in any kind of artistic endeavor, creative endeavor. So next one. And also, I would encourage you, if you're even like a rock player, this would be good to add into your rock playing. And then like maybe do like an A minor, like a. And then kind of move it around. So if you look at the second page of the PDF, I do stuff like that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get to that today. I'm probably just going to mainly focus on these first 4 diagrams so I can get into a little bit more depth here. Okay, I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent talking about rock applications, but today I'm just kind of focusing on how I think this would work pretty well in a jazz context. So just to reiterate, I think anytime you have the 3 in a row, you can do hammer-ons for quickness, and then anytime you have the 5 in a row, you can do a hammer pull-offs. And then change it up rhythmically. All right, so let's do one more with this. Starting with the 3rd finger, same strategy. Starting off 8th notes, and then I'll change it up rhythmically, and then I'll just randomly add some notes at the end. You'll notice I am adding in this F note a lot, which would basically make it F major pentatonic over this 2-5-1 in F major. Eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. I'll change it up rhythmically. Add some notes at the end. So you get the idea of that. So that's kind of what practicing and shedding is all about. You have to sit there and try some different ideas and use your imagination. Take a basic concept and then play with it a little bit. Okay, so I think I'll do one more overall concept for this video. So just like I state in the beginning of the PDF, all patterns are movable. So I'll just show you some concept of taking these very basic cells, melodic cells, and moving them in a 2-5. Okay, so I think in this example, I'll think of this as A minor pentatonic. So I'm kind of outlining A minor pentatonic. So I'm going to do A minor 7th, this would be 2-5 and G. A minor 7th to like a D7, and then G major 7. So what I'll do is I'll take each of these patterns and I'll move them up 2 frets up to the, to play over the G major 7. So you have you can kind of hear that sound. Okay, so I'll do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to take the basic pattern, play it in 8th notes, move it up 2 frets, and then do that a couple of times. And then I'll just mess with it a little bit, change it rhythmically, add some different notes, at the ends of the phrases, and just kind of see what happens. Okay, 2-5-1, A minor 7, D7, G major 7, starting with the first pattern there. Okay, rhythmic changes. You can see I really like that hammer. A quick story here. I was a number of weeks ago. I got Capo out, the Capo app, and I was trying to transcribe some Jim Hall from Scrapple from the Apple from Jim Hall Live, and I kind of thought I heard him playing stuff like that. Yeah, I never got very far in my transcription. I was just kind of listening. Open Studio, that channel talks about, transcribing something, how you listen to it like, I don't know, like 25 or 30 times. So I was in the process of listening to it slow down. Great album. If you want to learn about jazz guitar, Jim Hall Live. I think he's in Toronto with bass and drums, and it's just excellent. So I'm kind of getting a little obsessed about this idea because I think it sounds kind of good in this. My exploration of jazz playing. Okay, next example. So that's starting with the third finger, and then I'm just going to move it up 2 frets. So what's going to happen there? I'm going to land on the 6 of the G major 7 chord. Kind of a nice sound. So same idea. I'll play that 8th notes, then I'll play it, rhythmic changes, adding notes, and then maybe I'll try some of those. Maybe I'll try some fast notes, because that was kind of the original idea of doing these chromatic patterns. Was I wanted to create some devices for myself so I can play some quick notes. Like here it comes. 8th notes with the second example. 2, 3, 4. That sounds nice, yeah. Okay, rhythmic changes. That was just a couple improvised examples. So realize in these videos, I don't have everything planned out. I just have a basic concept, and then I like to just kind of explore and just kind of see what happens. And what's that Mick Goodrick quote? Something to the R&P, rest in peace, Mick Goodrick, advancing guitarist. Mick Goodrick, something to the effect, follow your mistakes. That might be where your most creative stuff is. Mick Goodrick. Okay, third example. So okay, I'm going to have to do something a little bit different with that. So what's going to happen here, this is part of the creative process. You take a concept and then you might have to manipulate it or change it a little bit. So what's going to happen here? I might throw in that F sharp to end some of those phrases. For the D7. And that's going to be nice. So then for the G7 chord, I'm going to land up on 9. So that's going to be a cool idea. Okay, let's see what happens here. Same drill. Oh, I missed it. I'll just play it as written 2 times. 3, 4. That note needs to go somewhere. Okay, now I'll mess with it a little bit. I'll just scat a little bit. I'll just play it. Yeah, I'm getting a little obsessed about that 5-note riff. So you can take what you like from this video, apply it to your jazz playing, funk playing, fusion, jazz, rock, or whatever. So I'll do one more example for this video, and then stay tuned for other examples. 8-note chromatic patterns. You can take a look at the PDF. I'll put both pages in the link, and that way you can start looking at and get prepared for what I might come up with later. So this is the 4th example on the page, starting with the 3rd finger, and I'll move up to here. I'll just digress a little bit. So I talk a lot about 2-string grouping. So then obviously you could take this pattern here, you move it up to here, and then so maybe I'll do a little bit with that for this last segment here. And kind of mess with that a little bit. So I'll do it 2 times here, mess with it, and then I'll move it up an octave higher. Eighth notes, 3, 4. I'm going to take it up here first. 8th notes. Back here, I'll mess with it a little bit. Up here. Okay, so you get the idea there. So that's the first 4 examples, starting off 2-5-1 in the key of F, just staying in one position, and then just manipulating the endings to make it work harmonically, and then taking 2-5-1 in the key of G, taking the pattern here, A minor, kind of surrounding A minor pentatonic, and then surrounding B minor pentatonic. Maybe I'll just kind of play around with this. On the second page, I have this long string of notes here, 4 bars. First finger, third finger, first finger. Yeah, so I'm not really going to develop this idea today, but I just thought I would play it a little bit. So that's kind of coming out of the box pattern. So this might be, for rock players, this might be an interesting one to play around with. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of a King Crimson, 21st Century Schizoid Man. They do. Something like that. And so on. Actually, maybe I'll mess with this. Okay, I think I'll end off the video. I'm just going to play this out, just kind of messing around with that 4-bar pattern on the second page. I guess I'm still in this A minor thing. Let's just kind of see what happens here. Okay, thanks for listening and watching. Have fun with these concepts. They're just as written.